Hello everybody! In this guitar lesson I'm going to teach you to play Girl from the North Country by Bob Dylan. Now I'm going to base the lesson on the arrangement of Girl from the North Country on Dylan's 1963 album The Freewheelin Bob Dylan. And it's a great example of what's called Travis picking, it's fingerstyle. Now if you want to learn Travis picking, this is a good song to learn on, because I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's a relatively straightforward Travis picking arrangement. So it's a great way to learn Travis picking. If you already know Travis picking, then you're going to find it easier to pick this song up. And as well as that, of course, it's got a really fantastic lyric. It's a great song to perform. Okay, the 63 Dylan version is in B flat, and to get into B flat, we're going to put a capo on the 3rd fret of our guitars. So pop a capo onto the 3rd fret of your guitar to follow along. We'll start with the introduction to Girl from the North Country. I'll play it for you first, and then I'll break it down and show you how to play it. Before we get into the meat of this lesson, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Travis picking, in case you're not familiar with it. The key thing really I think about Travis picking is the use of the thumb in Travis picking. So in Travis picking, the thumb is always alternating between bass strings. So it'll alternate between strings 6, 5 and 4, and often it'll go from, for example, 6 to 5, like this. In this particular song, the thumb is always alternating between string 6 and string 4. And it's playing one and then the other all the way through the song. And you can hear that really clearly in the end of the introduction where you get this. Thumb there is going 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, and it's actually doing that all the way through the song. So that's really what Travis picking is. It's putting that thumb, getting it to alternate between the bass strings, and at the same time using your fingers to pick strings 3, 2, 1. That's basically what Travis picking is, and you can hear that really clearly in this song. Okay, in a moment I'm going to zoom in on my right hand to explain exactly how you play that introduction. But before we do that, let me just show you the chords you're going to need for the introduction on your left hand. And there are only 2 chords for that introduction. A normal G major, you need to finger it like this with your middle finger, ring finger and your little finger. And the other chord you need is a G over C or a G stroke C. And to get to that chord from the G major, you're just going to move your middle finger from, relative to the capo, 5th string 2nd fret to the 4th string 2nd fret. And you're going to put your index finger on the 2nd string 1st fret. That's your G over C. And you'll alternate several times between the G and the G over C during that introduction. And I'll tell you when you need to change. But let's zoom in now on the right hand. Now, one of the key things to understand about fingerstyle guitar and Travis picking in particular is that each digit on your hand, on your right hand, has a roll, apart from the little finger. We'll come back to that. So the thumb, that's going to alternate between playing the 6th string and the 4th string in this song. That's its roll. Nothing else is going to play those strings. The index finger, the role of the index finger is to play the 3rd string. Whenever we play the 3rd string, we'll do it with the index finger. And the index finger will never play any other string in this song. The role of the middle finger is to play the 2nd string. And again, whenever we want to play the 2nd string, in this song we'll do it with the middle finger. It will never play any other string. And the ring finger, as you may have guessed, its role is to play the top string it will never play any other string, and whenever we play the top string, we'll always use the ring finger. The little finger, that gets a rest in this song, okay? In fact, I never use my little finger on my right hand for finger picking. Some people do. I learned classical guitar as a youth, and in classical guitar you use your thumb, your index finger, your middle finger and your ring finger. You don't use your little finger because it's thought of as being weaker than the others. So you just use the thumb, index, middle and ring, and you'll notice in my finger picking that's what I always do. Okay, let's begin by looking at the first bar of Girl from the North Country. It goes like this. So let me break that down for you then. We start with our left hand in a G major position, and the very first note we're going to play is the 6th string, and as we know it's the thumb that always plays the 6th string. Next we're going to play 3 strings simultaneously. We're going to bring our thumb down to the 4th string, we're going to play that. We're going to use our middle finger to play the 2nd string, and our ring finger, can't quite see it there, there it is, that's going to play the top string. So thumb on the 6th string, and then thumb comes down to the 4th string, and we're going to play the middle string and the top string simultaneously with the 4th string. So we have this. And now next, our thumb is going to go back to the 6th string again. And our index finger is going to play the 3rd string. Now, we're next going to bring our thumb down to the 4th string, but before we do that, we're going to move our left hand into a G over C chord. And once we've done that, we can bring the thumb down to the 4th string. And finally, we're going to play the 2nd string with our middle finger. So we have this. And that's our first bar. Okay then, second bar does this. So to put that into context by playing it after the first bar, here are the first 2 bars. So let me break that down and show you how to play that second bar. Okay, so the first bar ends with our left hand in a G over C chord, and the second bar starts with our left hand also staying in that G over C chord. Now, the very first note of the second bar, and this isn't really very surprising, is the thumb on the 6th string. Now, the second note, actually we're going to play 2 notes next. We're going to bring our thumb down to the 4th string. Remember, it's alternating between 6 and 4, so of course it's going to play 4th string next. And we're going to play the 2nd string, and remember it's our middle finger that always plays that 2nd string. But there's a little catch here, which is you're going to take just your middle finger on the left hand off so the 4th string is open, and you're going to play those 2 strings together, 4th with your thumb, and middle is playing the 2nd string, and as you do it you're going to hammer on that middle finger to the 2nd fret 4th string, your left hand middle finger. So we have this. So we have this so far. Then the thumb goes back again and plays the 6th string, and then the index finger plays the 3rd string, and your thumb is going to rock back again now and play the 4th string, but before it does, you're going to put your left hand back to a G chord, and then your thumb plays that 4th string. So we have this. And then, finally, with your ring finger, of course, you're going to play the top string. So, this is what we have. And that's bar 2. Okay, let's look at bars 3 and 4 next. Now, the good news is that bar 3 and bar 4 are exactly the same as each other. Now, we ended bar 2 with our left hand in a standard G chord position, but we're going to start bar 3 with our left hand in the G over C position. So move your left hand into G over C. Now, the very first note of bar 3 is your thumb playing the 6th string. You may have spotted a pattern, which is that every bar starts with your thumb playing the 6th string. So 6th string with your thumb first. Next, your thumb is going to rock down to the 4th string, so it's doing its alternation thing between 6 and 4, and at the same time as you play the 4th string with your thumb, you're going to play the 2nd string with your middle finger. So the bar starts like this. Then your thumb goes back and plays the 6th string again. Next, you're going to move your left hand fingers back into their standard G chord shape. And then when they're there, your index finger is going to play its 3rd string. Your thumb's going to play the 4th string. And your ring finger is going to play the top string. So we have this. And we repeat that for bar 4. So the good news at this point is that the hardest bit of the song is over. It gets easier from here. Okay then, so for the last part of the introduction, the left hand just stays in its standard G chord shape. And on the right hand, again, things get simpler. So the thumb starts on the 6th string, rocks to the 4th string, goes back to the 6th string. Now next, the index finger plays the 3rd string and the thumb goes back to the 4th string. So we have this pattern. Now we're on to the verse of the song, and things get a bit more regular here. So let me play you the first part of the verse and then I'll begin to break it down and show you how to do it. So it goes like this. If you're traveling in the North Country Fair, now if I do that without the singing, the first part of that is this. So that's slower than Dylan plays it, but that's fine, and obviously, you know, I want you to learn, so that's why I'm not playing it too quickly. Anyway, let's break that down then so we can learn how to play it. Okay, so let's start with the chords that we're going to use for that first part of the verse. So the first chord is this one, beautiful chord. If you take a C major, a normal C major, and you slide it up 2 frets, then that's the chord we're going to be using now. You'll find different names for this chord, but you know, it's a form of D, let's say. Lovely chord. That's the first one. The second chord is this one. Now, this is a form of D7. So D7 normally would look like this. I'm taking my middle finger off, I'm moving my ring finger up to 3rd string 2nd fret, and I'm putting my middle finger on the 6th string 2nd fret. I'm not playing the top string, so it's an inverted form of D7. That middle finger is on 2nd fret 6th string, which is an F sharp relative to the capo. So we're not playing a D in the bass, we're playing an F sharp in the bass, and that inverts the chord. And then finally we go to a G major, followed by a G over C, and back to a G major. Okay then, let's look at our Travis picking pattern for the verse. Well, we start on that D chord, and it's a pretty familiar pattern that we've already seen actually. So always then we start with the thumb playing the 6th string, and then we're going to bring our thumb down to the 4th string and simultaneously play the 2nd string with our middle finger, back to the 6th string with our thumb, then we're going to play the 3rd string with our index finger, and then the 4th string with our thumb. So we have this. So we play 2 bars on that form of D chord, and that's twice through that finger picking pattern. Then we move our left hand down to that inverted D7, and we play exactly the same pattern with our right hand. We just do it once, there's only 1 bar there. Next, we move our left hand into the G major position, and things change up a bit at this point, so I'll show you this in a second. Okay, so when we get to that G chord, we're going to play this. So let's look at how to do that then. To play that figure on the G then, well, we're going to start with our left hand in the G major position there. As always, with our right hand, the first thing we're going to do is play the 6th string with our thumb. Then, as we often do, we're going to play the 4th string with our thumb and the 2nd string with our middle finger. Back to the 6th string with our thumb. Now, you're now going to move your left hand into the G over C position. Then you're going to play the 3rd string with your index finger, 4th string with your thumb, and 2nd string with your middle finger. Then back to the 6th string with your thumb. Then again, pinch together your thumb and middle finger on the 4th string and 2nd string at the same time. Back to the 6th string with your thumb. Put your left hand back in the G position, and then we're going to play 3rd string with your index finger, 4th string with your thumb, 2nd string with your middle finger. So we have this. And once we've done that, it gets easier. We just stay in the G major position on our left hand, and we play 6th string with our thumb, 4th string with our thumb, 6th string with our thumb, then 3rd string with your index finger, and 4th string with your thumb. So overall, this is what we've got. And then we're into the next line of the singing, into that D chord, same pattern as before. D7, the inverted D7, and then we're back to that G over to G over C figure again. I'll teach you the last part of Girl from the North Country shortly, but before I do that, I just wanted to say, if you've been enjoying this video, please do press the like button, and also if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do subscribe, and then you'll be notified of all the future videos that I release. Now let's take a rain check on where we are with playing that verse then. So this is where we've got to so far. If you're travelling on the North Country Fair, winds hit heavy on the borderline, and at that point things change up a bit. So for the 3rd line of the verse, we go to a standard E minor chord, and we play exactly the same right hand finger picking, Travis picking pattern as we were playing on the D chord and that inverted D7. So twice. Remember me to go to our G over C. One who lives. Again, exactly the same Travis picking pattern as previously. And then we're back to our little G to G over C pattern that we're familiar with already from the verse. There. The last line is exactly the same as the first two lines. She once was a true love of mine.